go. Yikes. There it is. Alright, so this is a recording for Lab 552. This is for my CCNA 3 students. This lab deals with ACLs, configuring and verifying extended ACLs. So I'm going to pick up later on in the lab. I'm not going to show you how to do the first few parts because these are things that you should already know how to do. So I've done most of this already. I've done the configure, basic settings for the routers and the switches, configure VLANs. I've done the VLANs on that and them as well. And I'm going to pick up off of trunking. And I believe I already started trunk on a few of them, but let me, Cisco, enable, class, let's do show run. I should have, so I already have my trunk set up on both of them. So make sure when you do your trunk, you put it in switch port mode trunk. You set the native VLAN to 1000, and then one thing that I would suggest that you have all the VLANs allowed. On the instructions it says only 10, 20, 30, and 1000. They omitted for some reason 40 off of there. If you do not put 40, when you go and try to ping from PCB in the next section to verify, you're going to have problems. It's not going to be able to communicate at all. You will be able to ping from PCA to everywhere, but on PCB you will not be able to ping. So that's one thing you guys need to be aware of when you are doing this lab. That is an error right there. There should be a 40 right there. So anyways, once you're done setting up your trunk, you do that on S1. And the same thing that you do on S1 Fast Ethernet 1, you're going to go to S2 and do the same thing. Same command. So Cisco enable class show run, and right there, right, I have all my VLANs, trunk mode, set my trunk native VLAN to 1000, and make sure that my trunk was allowing those VLANs to communicate. All right, that is essential for inter-VLAN routing and inter-VLAN communication, as well as just VLAN to VLAN communication. That trunk is essential to allow that to happen when you have large networks. The one thing now that we need to do is we actually need to start configuring VLAN, inter-VLAN routing. So we're going to go to the router now, R1. And in R1, Cisco enable class. Let's see if we've done anything. Right? Run. So I don't have anything set up here as far as just basic settings. All right, no problem. So interface G0/1.20, right? Because that's, oops, need to be in conf t, configure terminal, and then I have to go to that interface G0/1.20. So sub interface 20 on G01, right? So what we need to do is we need to create a sub interface for every single VLAN that we have. So we're going to do a .20, .30, .40, .1000. We don't need to do a .99. So these are all what you should be looking at in this addressing table. That's everything that that you're going to set up. So not a problem there. So first thing we need to do is since we're doing inter-VLAN routing, we need to encapsulate. So encapsulation .1Q, and then the VLAN that's going to be communicating across this sub interface, which is VLAN 20. We normally number the sub interface to the VLAN that we're going to want to communicate. Keep them the same. Don't confuse yourself. All right. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to send an IP address like we would do any other interface. So IP address 10.20.0.1. So subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Enter. Exit out of that sub interface and go to interface G0/1.30. Now I exit out just to see myself go from config modes, sub interface config mode, to global config mode, back into sub interface config mode, and that just allows me to see it. You can skip the exit part and just go into type in interface G0/1.30, but you won't see anything change, so you won't really know if you actually change interface config modes. But if you're sure of your skills, you should be okay with that. So same thing, encapsulation dot 1Q, but this time we're going to put in 30, and the IP address is 10.30.0.1 255.255.255.0. Exit out of that. Interface G0/1.40. Enter encapsulation. We can always just go up on our command history, find the command, change the numbers that we need, and then also IP address, find the IP address, just change it to right there, the 40, instead of having to type all that out. If you don't want to do that, it's perfectly fine. We also need to do exit out of that. I'm going to exit out just to show you. 14.1,000. Make sure not put 100 like I did. Enter. So we're now in subinterface 1000, and there's nothing that we need to do other than just encapsulation dot 1Q, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1000. Exit. The last thing we need to do is go to interface G0/1 and do a no shutdown. That will bring all your sub interfaces up. Don't forget to do that. If you don't do that, all your sub interfaces will be down, and then that link will still be red, and you'll wonder why you can't ping. So that's important. All right, so let's see. So we've done trunking, we've done inter-VLAN routing. All right, that's all submitters use the 8021Q. Ensure the sub interface for the native VLAN does not have the IP address assigned, because you're not doing that. Okay, so with interface or inter-VLAN routing completed, right? We've done all this. Configure interface loopback. We still need to do that. So let's finish that. Exit out. Interface loopback 0, and we're going to give it an IP address. IP address. What is the IP address? Well, we won't find out until we see the table. So it's not loopback 0. Yikes. Exit. No loopback 0. That's fine. We'll just have a blank loopback. So just type in no interface loopback 0. Alright, so we got rid of loopback 0. So now we'll just loopback interface loopback 1, LO1, and then IP address. They want it to be 172.16.1.1. 255.255.255.0. Alright, exit out of that. We don't have to give it a no shutdown because it's already, as soon as we created it, it came into an up state, so we're good on that one. That loopback is going to simulate the internet. Great for testing, so that's what we're using that for, just to simulate outside of our network. Alright, so next thing, we've done inter-VLAN routing. Let's configure some remote access. So if you don't remember how to do SSH, this is how you configure SSH. This is just some review here. So on the router, and actually I think we have to do this on all network devices. So we're going to have to do this over and over again for other devices. So we're going to type in username, SSH admin, and secret, because they wanted an encrypted password. $, Cisco 123 exclamation point. So the username is SSH admin, secret, and then your password. In this case, we're using $, lowercase Cisco 123 exclamation point. All right. So the next thing we need to do is create the domain name. So it's IP domain dash name, and we're using ccna-lab.com. All right, we're going to use that. And then we need to generate our SSH crypto keys or cryptography keys. All right, so it's crypto key generate RSA. So we're creating an RSA modulus, and they said to use 1024 bits as a modulus. Hit enter. Should create it really quickly. And then we just have to configure their VTY line. So we're going to do line VTY 0 to 4. Right? So we have SSH enabled. Right? We're going to do line, transport input SSH, and we also have to tell it to use login local, to use our local login database, which means that it's going to, instead of using the original password that we're using for Cisco in class, we're going to use this username right here, SSH admin, and this password. All right, that's what that login local one. Usually we just do a login, we do a password, and then login, which just says use the password that I just put right here in the line. But this one will say enforce the local database. And that's all we need to do there. Exit. Next, so I'm going to pause it right here, and I'll pick it back up after I configure S1, S2, and R2. So we'll pause it right here, and then you guys should go configure SSH on those other 3 devices. And when the video picks up, it will continue from where we should be. All right, so I've configured SSH on my other devices, R2 and R2. One thing we need to do in R2 is we need to go and configure a couple things on R2. So interface G0/1 needs to give you an IP address. Let's see, 10.20.0.4, 255.255.255.0. No shutdown. Oops, did I do the right one? No, that is correct. Okay, but Ethernet 01 has changed it up, so why is this down? 1. Alright, we'll see what's going on, why that's still down. Let's see if we disable that. Let's see. You show run. Fast Ethernet 5 was shut down for some reason. Shouldn't have been. Not a problem. We'll fix it. It was supposed to be Fast Ethernet 5. Let's see. Nope. Yep. Fast Ethernet 5. So to fix that, we just go to interface Fast Ethernet 5. Switch port mode dynamic. Auto. Negotiate dynamic. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Because we're not trying to make it a trunk. Never mind. Switch port, we'll leave it as an access port. And we don't want it to access a VLAN, so no switch port, because it's set to VLAN 99. Access VLAN 999. Alright, I think that should be fine. Because this is not a, shouldn't be a trunking, it should just be a normal switch interface. Just like normal, since we're only doing inter-VLAN routing on this end, we're not doing it on this end, so it should be okay. But let's see if we missed anything here. Right there. S2, it should be actually switch port mode access VLAN 20 on S2. So switch to Fast Ethernet 5, which is this one. It should be an access 20. What an amateur move here. Switch port access VLAN 20. There you go. Alright. archive. Access mode and VLAN 20. Let's have to put it in trunk. But we're not doing that, so we should be fine. So at this point now we've done inter-VLAN routing, and oh, we forgot one more thing. There should be a default route. So now that we fixed that, we have to do exit over here, default route. So it's IP route. So it's a default route with the next hop of 10.20.01. So IP route, and let's see, 0.0.0.0. 0.0.0.0, so any network, and we're going to do the next hop at configure R2G01 interface from table and a default route. Next hop 10.20.01, 10.20.0.1. I think that should be it. All right, so we got a default route, and with our next hop is that. We did SSH already. I went through all that. We need to establish that on authenticated web server. I'm not going to be able to do that on Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer won't allow me to do it. These are commands that I cannot enter on Packet Tracer. So if you're following along with your equipment, you can do this on your equipment. So you can go ahead and do that one. It's just these two commands right there. They give them to you, so you should be okay with that. And that's all you need to do. HTTP secure server, authentication local. Next thing you're going to do is refer to, let's see, configure the PC host. If you haven't configured PC host to the correct IP address, do that. I have not yet. On your PCs, when you're connected to the lab, it's probably one of the first things that you do is configure PC host. So I'll do this one. This one's PCA. PCA is 10.30.0.10. 255.255.255.0. Default gateway is 10.30.0.1. Leave that like that. No DNS server. PCB is 10.40. No, 20. Nope, it is 40. My bad. 40.0.10. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. So /24. And our default gateway is 10.40.0.1. So default gateway to our router and to our G01.40 interface. That's right there, default gateway. And there we go. So next, let's see. Now that we've done that, pretty easy on Packet Tracer. On your PCs, it might take a little time. I'm not going to do this where I'm going to test all of this. You test it. All of these should be successful at this point. If everything's set up correctly, everything should work. If something is not successful, you need to go back and look at your configs. Something was done wrong, or flag me down in the classroom, and then I'll come give you a hand. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to verify and actually configure our extended access list. Our extended access list will be placed on G01 on the R1 router. So we're going to create two policies. One ACL is going to cover policy 1, 2, and 3, while one policy or one ACL is going to cover just policy 4. Now, it's very simple. If you look at it's class. Now, if you look at what they're asking you, read each one. It says the sales network is not allowed to SSH. The second one says the sales network is not allowed to do something. The third one says the sales network is not allowed. So we group these because it's all denying the sales network not to do something, but also allowing something else. So we're going to call this one, we're going to type in IP access list. We'll call it deny underscore sales, right? And I forgot one more thing. Deny, it's an IP access list, and we have to put extended, right? Oopsies, extended deny sales, and that's it. So IP access is extended deny sales. So we are creating an extended access list that's going to deny sales to do things. Why extended? Because it is asking you to actually do protocols. SSH is telling you right here they want you to deny HTTPS and HTTP. They're also asking you to do ICMP echo requests. And you can only do that on an extended access list. Standard access list will not allow you to do that. Standard access lists only work on a layer 3. So you can only deny IP addresses only. So just know the difference between extended and standard. Standards work on layer 3. Extendeds work on layer 4 and layer 3. So extended give you a little more flexibility on what you can do with them. All right. So let's work on policy number 1. All right. So if you're being thorough, mark, and you can say the following lines will cover policy 1. All right, so that's our remark. And so we want to deny, so it's going to be a deny, and we're denying a TCP protocol. We're going to deny TCP. We're going to deny the sales network. It says the sales network itself. So when we're doing a network, we just have to type in the entire network. So sales is the 40 VLAN, so it's 10.40.0.0, right? And we also have to put in a wildcard mask. So since we're denying a whole network, and the whole network that we're denying is a /24, we're just going to put in the wildcard mask for a /24, which is 0.0.0.255. If you have your cheat sheet, that is going to help you here. Now, when we configure a extended ACL, let me find my extended ACL, my policies. We are going to say, I had a typo there. I typed in, and good thing I caught it now. It says dent, not deny. So deny TCP, we're denying a source. Our sources, we're denying the sales network, which is a source. We're not allowing them to SSH into the management network, our destination. All right, so you need to be careful on how you type it in, because one is your source. It's always going to be the source first and then your destination. So your source is the sales network. The destination is the management network. So management network is the 20 VLAN or the 20 network. So it says the management network. So source is 1040, destination is 10.20.0.0, and the wildcard mask is 0.0.0.255. I'm going to extend this out a little bit so that I can see a little bit better. All right, so source is my sales, destination is my management. So they cannot, we're saying we're denying TCP traffic from the sales network to the management network. And what are we going to deny? So if you're caught up and you don't know what's next, question mark it. So we need to do, what TCP are we going to be equal to, so we can match only a certain port number. We can do established, so already established connections only, right? Maybe port packets that have a greater than this port number, less than this port number, not a given port number, match. In this case, we're doing equal to, and port 22, because port 22 is SSH. So you need to know your port numbers. If not, a quick Google search will help you find the port number for SSH. All right, so enter on that one. So we have pretty much satisfied this up until the parentheses. It says, but other SSH is allowed. That is also a statement, another ACE. So we're going to say permit TCP any equals to 2. So what this statement says is that we're denying, all we're doing is we're just going to deny the sales network to SSH access to the management network, but we're going to permit everyone else or any other device the ability to SSH in. All right, so that covers policy 1. Policy 1's in the bag. The next one, and really with these policies, all you have to do is just break them down little by little. All right, it says the sales network is not allowed to access the IP address in the management network using any web protocol. So we need to do a couple of things. This takes a little bit longer because there's multiple ACEs. So policy 2 says we're not allowing the sales network, so easily you just deny TCP 10.40.0.0. Right, the sales network is not allowed to access IP addresses in the management network using any web protocol. So IP addresses in the management network. So that one might have to be a little more thorough. It also says the sales network is not allowed to access R1 interfaces using any web protocol. So we have to look at what IP addresses are in the management network. So management is 1020. We have 20.0.1 and 20.4, 20.2, 20.3. So we have to create an ACE for each of those. We could just deny the entire network, but the problem is that it doesn't tell us on there to do the entire network. It just says sales network is not allowed to access IP addresses in the management network. You know what? It does say management network, so we'll just cover the entire network instead. All right. So same thing. Source is the sales network. Wildcard mask is 0.0.0.255, and then our destination is 10.20.0.0. Wildcard mask is 0.0.0.0.255, and it's equal to, what is it? 88. Or we could also put www. That's actually not 88, it's 80. www. Right? That will cover HTTP. We also need to do another one, same exact command, but instead of www, we type in 443. That is HTTPS. So that covers this right here. That will cover that entire sentence, just those two ACEs. Now we also still have to cover this part right here. Any R1 interface. So now we have to create an ACE, and it says any web protocol. So also, just like here, HTTP, HTTPS. So now I have to look at my R1 interfaces. This one, this one, this one. And we can forget about loopback. We don't have to do that. All right, so same thing. You can up arrow and change it if you want to. So this is going to stay the same, sales network, but this is going to change the destination. So in this case, we have to type in host 10, because we're just doing the interface itself, 10.20.0.1, right? And then we'll do equal to, we'll do HTTP first, www, and then we'll do an up arrow again, and then we'll just do 443, right? So we did this one. Now we've denied this G01.20. Now we're going to do this again, and we're going to change a couple things. We're going to change that 20 into a 30, right? And we're going to change that 443 into a www. Enter, hit up arrow, change that www into a 443. That'll cover HTTP, HTTPS. Hit up arrow again. And so we've done the first two interfaces. Now we need to do the 41. So 10, we just change that 30 into a 40, right? That 443 into a www. Enter, and then change that to a 443. Enter. So we've denied to all three of these. We don't have to worry about the loopback because it's the internet-facing one. And they really didn't mention it. It's not a real interface, so we don't have to worry. But if it was a real interface, then yeah, you would. So the sales network is not allowed to access R1 interfaces using any web protocol. All other web traffic is allowed. It also says, no, sales can access loopback 1 interface on R1. So yes, we don't have to block the loopback 1. So just note that. Make sure you read it before. So it says it's a good idea to write down your ACL somewhere else before you actually apply them, because you could mess it up. So the last part, we need to do that one. So permit TCP any because it's anything else equal to www. And then again, the same command for 443. All right. So that completes policy number 2. That will complete the creation of policy number 2. Right. Next, we need to take care of policy number 3. It says the sales network is not allowed to send ICMP echo requests to the operation or management network. So there's a couple of ACEs that we need to put in to fulfill that. But it says at the end, echo requests to other destinations are allowed. So we're going to do the deny statements first. Deny. This one is not TCP. It's going to be, and if you hit the question mark, you'll see that you have a bunch of it. TCP, UDP, OSPF, IP, but there's ICMP. It has its own little part of the command, ICMP. So we're denying ICMP, and it's going to be the sales network 10.40.0.0.0 network 0.0.0.255, and it's going to be also the management network, which is the 10.20.0.0.0.0.255. Right, so the management network is not going to be echo request and operations. So then we don't know. We've never done ICMP, so we'll see. What else are we trying to deny? Right? Echo. We're trying to deny an echo request. So we type in echo. Echo. Now you don't have to type anything after that. It's just echo. All right. We also need to deny an echo request, but it's not going to be the 20 network. What is it? Well, we have to go back up and look again. Go back up and we see the operations is 30 VLAN. So we'll deny the 30 VLAN. Go back here and put 30 in there. So this is sales to management, sales to operations. We're denying ICMP echo. Hit enter. Those are good. Then we're going to permit ICMP any, and we're doing echo as well. So it says we're allowing echo requests to other destinations are fine. So we can echo anything else. We just can't echo those. We can't send ICMP echo requests. We can't ping to those ones. And you'll see how that's gonna. It'll work out here on when you're testing it. All right. So that is it for policy 3. Policy 3 is done. So exit. So you have one ACL that's covering all of that. You have to have one more ACL that's going to cover that. Why? Because this one is just going to cover the operations network. So we create just one more ACL. So we're going to do IP access list again. We're going to call it deny _operations. Oh, I forgot the extended. My bad. Extended deny operations. All right. So we are in extended named ACL config mode, as you can tell by the command prompt change. Pretty simple. The operations is 1030, so we're going to do a deny 10.30.0.0.0.255. We're denying the operations network, and you're not allowed to echo request the sales network. So it's a reverse. It's kind of like a uno reverso there. 255. And then, so it's basically this one right here, reversed. So, and I forgot to do one thing actually. I forgot the ICMP now that I noticed it. ICMP 10.30.0.255 to then 10.40.0.0 space 0.0.0.255 and echo. Alright. So that will cover this part. It says the operations network is not allowed to echo request the sales network, but ICMP requests to other destinations are alright. We need to add that permit statement, or else we're just denying everything else, because there's that explicit deny. So permit any, permit ICMP any echo, and that is that one. Actually, you know what? I could have put in a remark saying this will cover policy 4. I didn't do it. I'm not going to do it. It's okay. Oops. Exit. Okay, so we have created ACLs to cover all 4 of these policies. Now, I'm going to show you where they're going to get placed and why they're going to get placed there. It's all going to be on R1. They're actually going to get placed on the sub interfaces. So let's look back at what our policies say, right? These are going to enforce the sales network, and this one is only going to enforce the operations. So what we need to do is we need to place them somewhere where it's going to enforce it. Now, you don't see here, but there's, right, we have the sub interfaces in here that are detailed right there. So this one, the deny sales is acting upon the sales network. So we're going to place it on G01.40. So let's go to interface G0/1.40. We're in that sub interface config mode, and the command is access. I'm sorry, it's IP access group, right? And we're gonna type in the name, deny underscore sales, and it's gonna be an inbound direction. All right, we want it to check before it is routed outside of there. So we don't want it to route it first and then check. We want it to check first to make sure the traffic is not being routed out. All right, so deny sales. Any exit. The next one, which is this one, deny operations, is going to be put on the operations. So interface G0/1.30 and IP access group deny underscore operations inbound. Now I don't think we're doing anything with the VTY, so I don't think we have to do anything VTY. Let's see. Apply extended accesses that will meet the security policy statements, verify policies. So the last thing we need to do is test. This is did we set it up correctly? All right, so we're going to open up a command prompt, and in your window you might do the same thing from PCA. Even though it says PC0, that's PCA. We're going to ping 10.40.0.10. It should fail. Destination host unreachable, or nothing happens. First time down. Now it's a failure. We'll make it, let it finish. So next thing from BCA, I should be able to ping 10.20.0.1, and it should work. Now I haven't pinged anything, so usually when I test the first time, my ARP should go through. Or it doesn't work. If it doesn't pass, that means there's something going on with the network. Something's not set up correctly. In this case, that is a problem. So let's check it. Cisco enable class show run. So what did we set up incorrectly? Or what did I set up incorrectly here? My VLANs are set up. VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, native. Everything else is in the parking lot VLAN. Fast Ethernet 5. Haha! Look at that. There should be something in there, and I did not set it up. So, interface F0/5. And that would actually, oops, I need to be a copy. So what I forgot to fix was, or set up, was my trunking on Fast Ethernet 5. Inter-VLAN routing was not completely set up. So, everyone makes mistakes. Let's fix it. Interface F0/5. Switch port mode trunk, and that will we'll bring that into an upstate and switch port trunk native VLAN 1000. Hopefully, I think that's all I need to do. I will run my ping again, see if it will work. I should probably get maybe 1 or 2 timeout and then actual pings. If not, then I need to allow the VLANs to go through and then that will work. Yeah, let's do that. Switch port. Oh, it says 75% loss. It finally worked. So what happens is like my ARP has to go through and verify everything, run through and this thing, and I didn't give it time. So there you go. I pinged it. Let me try the other one. It should give me destination host unreachable. That is, I'm being denied. I'm being blocked by the ACL. All right. The rest of them I'm going to do from PCB because I did a lot from PCB, right? Because PCB is where? PCB is sales. And most of my ACL is blocking sales. So let's do that. Command prompt ping. Oh, that's the wrong one. Ping. Let's see. 10.30.0.10. It should fail. Destination was unreachable. That is correct. Not a problem there. That is correct. The next one is 10.20. That one should also fail. The next one should pass. Ping. We're going to do 172.16.11. It says ping request cannot find host. 16. Oh, dummy. .1.1. Not 11. There you go. That works. The next one should fail. Ping 10.20.0.1. That's failing. That's in our case it's a success. Actually, I just did those. Oh, I'm sorry. We did those, but what the problem is this is HTTPS. On Packet Tracer, I won't be able to do that. What you will have to do is you're going to have to do this. On your PC, open up a web browser and type in 10.20.0.1, right? Hit go. It's not going to do anything for me because I couldn't set up that server. So you should be failed anyways through that. All right? One should fail, one should succeed. So test that out on your own, see if that works, and screenshot it. The next one and the very last one we're going to do is we're going to SSH. So command prompt, what that looks like is SSH. For you, for TerraTerm, I'll show you what it looks like. TerraTerm. And what you're going to do is you're going to put in the actual IP address right here. You make sure SSH is selected, port 22, and click OK. Don't worry about hitting that serial. That's a serial connection, not the same thing. You're doing this. TCP/IP, the IP address, SSH, the port number. Cancel that. But for me, I have to do it this way because I don't have that. So SSH-L. My target is 10.20.0.4. It should fail me out. Actually, you know what? I think it's the username. So .L SSH admin, and then the target is 10.20.0.4. Did I do that right? Connection timed out. Host not responding. I did it right. All right. So the next one you're going to do is, let me exit out of here. All right. So from PCB, it says from PCB, and I think I did my last one from PCA, which it still failed me out. It wouldn't let me go through, but I should have done it from PCB. And here I click on the right PC. And if you see, if you try it, you do SSH 10.20. I'm sorry, no, SSH-L, SSH admin, and then my target is 10.20.0.4. It should deny me. Just give it a little bit of a second right there. Deny me. There you go. It's timed out. And then if I actually do then from this one, PCB, to that destination, it will ask me for a password. And the password is $, Cisco 123 exclamation point, and I typed it in wrong. $sign CISCO 123 exclamation point. All right, maybe it's Cisco. Authorized users only. So it's Cisco. I did not change the password to the correct one. Remember to do that when you do it. Enable class. Voila, we are in. So I was able to successfully SSH from 172.16.1. And that's it. So what you need to do is you may need to make sure you have screenshots of all of these results. If you can't get these two HTTPS, I'm not going to be too worried about it. I'm going to assume that they did work. If you set the policies exactly like I did, it should work. So that is the end of this lab. I hope this really helped you out and you learned a couple of things. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit that subscribe. Nah, I'm just kidding, guys. All right, I'll see you in class. See ya.